ですが、ニュースをお伝えします。新宿区オフィスビル立てこもり事件の速報です。今朝、新宿6丁目のオフィスビルに目出し帽をかぶった40歳前後とみられる男が従業員数人を人質に取り立てこもりました。その後、数時間経った今も男は会社員の話によりますと、立てこもっている男は北島という男である可能性が高いとのことです。その男は以前からこのビル内のある企業との仕事上の取引があり、金銭上のトラブルが絶えなかったということです。今回の立てこもりはそのトラブルに端を発したものではないかと見方が強まります。
Frankie Johnson was the guy.
In 428, you follow the stories of multiple protagonists at once. Your decisions impact their experiences as you read the story. What does the day hold in store? Their fate is in your hands. Hopefully, you can see them all through to the end. To start, you have two characters, Shinya Kano and Achi Endo. Let's begin by checking out Kano's story. Just 2 more minutes to go. Shinya Kano looked at the time again on his watch, scowling at the slow creep of the second hand.
Oh, great.
Time at 9:58 a.m. Furrows of consternation creased his forehead. He wasn't nervous, but he knew better than to expect everything to go smoothly. Keeping a level head was proving rather difficult. There was no room for failure. Lives were on the line here. He eyed his surroundings. Was the perp really going to show up? When? Where would he be coming from? How would he make his approach? The Shibuya Scramble was as packed as ever. A throng of people crossing this way and that, blissfully unaware of the dozens of detectives hidden in its midst.
Alright, another minute and a half.
And Kano glanced down at his watch yet again. A mere 30 seconds had passed. Detective Kano had been with the enforcement arm of Shibuya's criminal affairs section for over a year now, but he'd never been part of an operation this big before. He eyed the young woman standing beside the statue up ahead. She was small enough to get lost in the crowd, and she carried a nondescript attaché case. Hitomi Osawa, age 19. The attaché case in her hand contained a full 50 million yen in cash. Yesterday, her twin sister Maria had been kidnapped. This was the ransom payment. The culprit had called Hitomi last night at home, referring to her by name and telling her to wait by the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya. It was almost time, but nothing. Kano was staring fixedly at the second hand on his watch when a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk murmured just loud enough for him to hear. Come on, Kano. Quit looking at your watch so much. Oh, sorry.
Come on, Kano, quit looking at your watch so much. What if the kidnapper sees you?
Kano tried to look nonchalant as he lifted his eyes, but the scruffy character continued.
You're too nervous. Just relax already.
You're the one acting suspicious, Sasayama.
Kano frowned.
Why would some homeless guy be talking to me?
Yuji Sasayama was the senior officer of the Shibuya Precinct's Criminal Affairs Division, 5 years older than Kano. Some words and phrases in the text appear in blue. These are called tips. Press square to underline a tip, then press X. This will let you read some extra info relating to that word or phrase. There are tips containing general knowledge and ones that are 428. Specific. These are marked with a magnifying glass and a 428 respectively. Am I gonna... Okay, I can't. He always went a little overboard with the disguises. He claimed it was all part of the job, but word around the station was that he just liked playing dress-up.
Hey, pal. Spare some change?
Sasayama lurched to his feet and shuffled in close to Kano.
Hey, knock that off!
Fittingly for the part, Sasayama reeked pretty badly.
Well, ain't so suspicious now, huh?
He clung to Kano with a mock camaraderie despite the younger man's attempts to pull away.
Come on, Sasayama, cut it out!
Sasayama's blithe confidence rattled Kano's nerves. Of course, there was a good reason for that confidence. This was Kano and Sasayama's jurisdiction, but they were positioned a good distance from where the handoff was to take place. The statue of Hachiko was surrounded by elite investigators from one of HQ's special investigation teams. Sometimes 2 or more tips will appear on a single screen. Press square. Repeatedly to change which words are underlined. Highlight the tip. You wish to read, then press X. Continue pressing square or press circle to return to reading the story. Kano and his partner were just there to provide backup if the kidnapper attempted to flee.
Look, just try to relax. You'll be fine.
Sasayama gave him a wink. A moment later, the radio squawked in Kano's ear.
I think it's Emilio. Emilio, you there?
Oh, did you say me?
Yeah, I think it's you.
Oh, sorry. All right, everyone, it's time. Keep your eyes open.
Oh, someone else.
The voice coming in through the earpiece was Koji Kuze, HQ's operations director.
Wait, did I sign someone up wrong yet?
Until last year, he'd been the Shibuya precinct's head detective and Kano's supervisor.
Let's see. Panda, you do him.
We don't know where the perp is going in the contacts. Don't let your guard down.
Kuze's low, gravelly voice echoed in Kano's ear.
You don't sound too worried, Kuze.
Kano winced at Sasayama's words. How could the man be so nonchalant? The appointed time had come and gone. Something should be happening. Whop! Kano smacked himself in the thigh to release a little tension. The sound was louder than he'd intended. Though the suit hid his muscular physique, it did little to dampen the noise. He needed to stay focused. He might be called to action at any moment. The department handled abduction cases according to a certain standard investigation procedure. Was it an attempt to extort money, or was the motive something personal? The answer to that question determined how they'd deal with the criminal. And based on the investigation team's initial findings this time around, they probably weren't dealing with a professional kidnapper. Still, in all likelihood, it was someone with quite a long rap sheet. Probably someone who knew the family, but so far they had few leads on who might bear such a grudge. With the situation so unclear, the plan was to apprehend whomever came to make the handoff on sight. If the culprit ran with the money, there'd be no guarantee of the hostage's well-being.
Still nothing.
Sasayama muttered.
There he is!
There he is.
Oh, wait. Damn it, I don't know who it is.
He's
You go for it.
no. There's no distinction whatsoever. There he is. He's here.
Kuze broke in, his voice spiking into an excited chirp.
Subject is a young male in his 20s.
Huh.
Wearing a banana orange hoodie.
Kuze, normally calm and stoic, was now squawking like an excited child. That only happened when he got particularly worked up. Kano and Sasayama steeled themselves. They could see the subject now. A 20-something male nonchalantly approached Hitomi to talk to her.
Kuze.
All right, people. Be ready to grab this guy.
Kuze was stationed in the mobile command center, not far from the intersection, keeping tabs on the situation via video surveillance from the camera team. The young man started speaking enthusiastically to Hitomi. Detectives watched, uncertain. Was this really the kidnapper? You'll encounter selections like these during the story. These choices will change the lives of other people in addition to changing your own fate. Use up-down to make your choice, then press X. A current choice will not impact you or any of the other protagonists. The situation still wasn't entirely clear. He needed to get a better look at things. The newcomer held a bundle of letter-sized paper which he showed to Hitomi as he went on talking. He tried to hand her one of the papers, but she pointedly ignored him. Undeterred, the man kept trying to foist it off on her. Hitomi refused to respond, becoming as motionless as the statue of Hachiko behind her. Until finally, the man gave up and walked away.
Guess it wasn't him.
Kano felt the tension of the moment lingering his spine.
Guy must have been hitting on her.
Sasayama muttered.
I mean, she is pretty cute and all.
He had a point.
Though, of course.
Something in Sasayama's voice made Kano brace himself.
She's got nothing on my Michan.
Michan was Sasayama's wife. They'd gotten married just last month.
Let me tell you, Kano, married life is the best. You gotta hurry up and give it a try for yourself.
This was Sasayama's favorite topic lately, and Kano was getting more and more fed up with it.
Sasayama, come on. Just knock it off, okay?
The phrase had become a common refrain of his since the department partnered them.
Fine, fine. Let's talk about your girlfriend then.
Huh? Now? You can't be serious.
Sasayama leaned in close again.
What's she like?
We're not having this conversation.
Kano muttered, looking away.
Aw, come on.
Sasayama set his hand on Kano's chest, still playing the homeless troublemaker.
Come on, show me your phone. Let me see your lock screen.
Huh?
Sasayama pawed for the phone.
You got a pic of your girl on your lock screen, yeah?
I do not.
But he did. It was scary how on the mark Sasayama's instincts were.
Hey, cut it out. We're in the middle of an investigation.
I am investigating.
Sasayama chuckled as he plucked the phone from Kano's pocket. His face scrunched up with astonishment as he looked at the lock screen.
What the heck is this?
It's not.
Ain't this Masami Nagahama?
Kano realized he had to bite the bullet.
No, that's my girlfriend. Her name's Rummy, and she's...
Sasayama cut him off.
You're telling me this ain't Masami Nagahama, the famous actress? because this right here is Masami Nagahama.
Like I said,
Oh, you sly old dog! Trying to make like you're dating Masami Nagahama.
I'm not. I mean, I guess Rami does kind of look like her.
Sasayama let out a huff.
For real? You really think I'm gonna fall for that?
There's nothing to fall for. I swear.
Sasayama scowled, unconvinced.
Alright then, why don't you marry her?
Kano stammered, but he had no answer. The truth was, he would have happily married her already. But there were obstacles that needed to be overcome.
Okay, playtime's over. Let's focus on a job.
Sasayama handed back Kano's phone and turned his gaze back to Hitomi. Kano let out a quick, uneasy sigh. But his shoulders did feel looser. Maybe Sasayama had been trying to relieve a bit of the tension. Maybe he should be grateful. By now, several minutes had passed since the guy with the papers had gone away. He peered at Hitomi. The strain on her face was visible. In addition to the weight of the attaché case itself, the 5,000, 10,000 yen bills it held weighed close to 6 kilos. Her slender arms must have been getting tired. Still, she refused to set the case down. She wasn't taking any chances with her sister's life. The kidnapping case had begun the day before, at around 7 p.m.
Emilio.
This is MPD Dispatch. The Shibuya precinct is reporting a missing person, believed to be an abduction. Subject is Maria Osawa, a 19-year-old student in Midoriyama Academy. Last seen at the LL Diner near campus. A man was allegedly seen forcing her into a car nearby. All officers in the vicinity report to the scene at once.
Kano and Sasayama had been working a burglary case in Jingume's 5th district when they got the call. The two arrived at the LL Diner at 7:15 p.m. At roughly the same time, several other officers showed up to secure the area, blocking off entry to nearby roadways and monitoring the surrounding establishments. Inside the restaurant, Kano and Sasayama were met by the girl who'd reported the kidnapping. It was the victim's twin sister, Hitomi.
Could you tell us about when Maria was taken? Starting from the very beginning.
Kano said, keeping his voice low.
My sister and I were supposed to have a party together today.
Can you raise your gain, Lenny?
Yeah. Do you want me to do it again?
Yeah, yes please.
My sister and I, we were supposed to go to a party together today.
Hitomi was trembling, her voice hoarse.
But I messed up the time. I showed up right at 7, an hour later than I was supposed to.
So Maria had gone alone to the party, a mixer for locals and exchange students. Hitomi, arriving late, had showed up just in time to glance out the restaurant window and see her sister getting shoved into a car. She described the vehicle as a blue station wagon of Japanese make.
Why would something like this happen to her?
Hitomi held back her tears, but she was shaking all over.
Did you get a look at the kidnapper?
Yes, it was a man, middle-aged.
There was another eyewitness, Leland Palmer. He identified himself as a lecturer at Hitomi and Maria's school.
I saw too.
Oh, it's Leland.
Oh, sorry.
I saw too. It's like Hitomi says. I heard Hitomi cry out, and so I went to the window to look. And
His Japanese was halting, as if he hadn't been in the country very long.
I think that maybe the kidnapper was working alone.
Leland explained that he'd seen the man shove Maria into the back seat, then clamber into the driver's seat. If he had an accomplice, wouldn't they have been driving? Neither Hitomi nor Leland had gotten a look at the suspect's face. Kana was interviewing the others who had been on the scene, looking for other potential witnesses when his phone rang. It was Yoshio Kajiwara, one of the senior detectives.
Justin.
We've set up a task force for the investigation. Get back to the station once you've handled the situation.
Barely half an hour had passed between the time the kidnapping was reported and the time the task force had began operation. When Kano and Sasayama had got back to the precinct station, Kuze had already arrived from HQ. He informed them that a response team had been formed to investigate the victim's home. Kano could feel a peculiar tension in the air. Unfamiliar MPD detectives scurried to and fro around the Shibuya offices. He pulled one of them aside to get a quick update. An hour had now passed since the kidnapping. There had been one new development. The perpetrator had made a threatening call to the victim's home. He said the following. Do we have a kidnapper, or is that me?
You can just keep reading it.
Tomorrow, 10 a.m., by Hachiko in Shibuya. Have the sister, Hitomi, bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit. Kajiwara from the precinct was put on the response team along with detectives from elsewhere who'd received special training in abduction cases. Normally, a local precinct detective wouldn't have gone undercover in a victim's home. Kuze, however, had decided that having a knowledgeable local was crucial and had sent Kajiwara along. The detectives disguised themselves as delivery people and movers to make their way inside without arousing suspicion. Arriving there at 8:30. The response team had come prepared to run a trace if the kidnapper contacted the family a second time. but there were no further calls. Kano checked his watch again. 20 minutes had now passed since the time designated for the ransom handoff. The kidnapper had yet to appear.
Crap. Think we might have spooked him?
He wondered out loud.
Hey, stay calm.
Sasayama scanned the passing throng.
He's just playing with us.
Why does Guy even pick this place?
Kano voiced the question he'd been asking himself ever since he'd heard the kidnapper's demands. Sasayama shrugged.
Figure he must want to blend in with the crowd, nab the money, and disappear before anyone knows he's there, would be my guess.
In that case, why not pick Senjuku or Ginza?
The big crowd didn't just benefit the kidnapper after all. It also allowed the police to use the sea of people to conceal their own operation. Right now, there were 50 detectives stationed within a 50-meter radius of where Hitomi stood. The kidnapper would be taking a major risk if his plan was to nab the ransom money and run. That's what bothered Kano. Any criminal with half a brain would know better than to do a handoff in front of Hachiko.
You're overthinking things, pal.
Sasayama grumbled.
No, I'm not.
Kano reached into his pocket and pulled out his notepad. This was Kano's dick diary. This was Kano's dick diary, which he always kept close at hand. Sasayama rolled his eyes.
That thing again?
Kano ignored him, flipping through the notepad pages.
Ha! Here it is! Dictum number 89. The more irrelevant something seems, the more relevant it's bound to be.
It was a favorite saying of Kyuzo Tateno, an assistant inspector from the Shibuya precinct. Tateno was the kind of detective Kano aspired to be. For the current operation, he'd been placed in charge of Hitomi's personal safety. He was in position to defend her as soon as the ransom had been handed off. Of course, Hitomi hadn't been informed of how much protection she was under. There was a risk that if she acted too secure, it might alert the kidnapper.
I think Tateno has the right idea.
Sasayama snorted quietly.
Maybe. I mean, he is a great detective. Don't get me wrong. But do you know how many irrelevant things there are to consider?
Again, Kano ignored him. Didn't matter if nobody else understood. Kano had faith in Tateno as both a detective and as an individual. He had first witnessed Tateno's brilliance during a standoff at a financial company 3 years earlier. A man had shut himself in an office, splashing gasoline everywhere and threatening to set the place ablaze. While the others hesitated, Tateno unflinchingly doused himself with gasoline and strode into the building, where he managed to talk the man down and secure the scene. The others had been awestruck by Tateno's actions. And Kano, who at the time had been content to be a run-of-the-mill policeman, had found it quite inspiring.
Still, you know...
Sasayama murmured under his breath.
As great a detective as Tateno is, it's not like anyone else in the world has ever heard of him.
I suppose not.
Kano said.
So?
Only time anyone ever hears a cop's name is if he's caught up in some scandal or killed in the line of duty. I mean, doesn't really seem fair, does it?
Kano just shrugged. It was a strange definition of unfair, really.
I mean, you got celebrity chefs and celebrity hairdressers and stuff. So how come no celebrity gumshoes, you know?
Look, please. Can you just focus on what we're doing here?
Kano rubbed his eyes, then turned his attention back to Hitomi.
What's the matter? Didn't sleep?
Not enough, I guess.
Did you eat?
Didn't have time.
Between bringing in supplies for the base of operations, readying the team's vehicles, photocopying hundreds of documents and various other tasks, Kano had barely slept the previous night and hadn't gotten a meal in either.
What have you been doing?
Sasayama puffed out his chest.
Saving up my energy for today.
So you were sleeping.
Kano gave a wry chuckle at his partner's lack of shame.
There he is! Oh, damn it.
Uze's voice chirped suddenly through Kano's earpiece.
Man in his 20s wearing a sleeveless red jacket. He's carrying a garbage bag!
A young man had emerged from the crowd about 15 feet where Hitomi was standing, and he strode towards her, a sinister look on his face. He didn't match Hitomi's description, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper had hired some young street punk to snatch the ransom payment.
That guy? What do you think, Kano?
Sasayama whispered.
Yeah. I think it's got to be.
This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. Bent his knees, ready to act fast. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that had begun to take hold. Could this be the culprit? Or perhaps... The young man tried to snatch the briefcase from Hitomi, but she clung to it with desperate strength. It was him! The detectives rushed in.
Justin.
Whoa, hey! What the hell?
The young man cried out frantically and tried to dart away, but the officers closed in, forcing him bodily to the ground.
Target secured.
Oh, jeez. I think you got another suspect on the scene. Ah! He's taking the ransom!
Uze's hysterics made Kano spin around, and sure enough, a foreign-looking man was sprinting away, attaché case in hand. The mob of detectives scrambled to pursue. Before Kano could react, most of them had run off, leaving him to look after the original suspect.
What should I do with this guy, sir? He might have some connection to the kidnapper. Should I bring him in?
Huh? Oh, sure, that'd be swell.
I'm on it.
With the help of one of the remaining detectives, Kano brought the suspect back to the Shibuya precinct.
Look, How many times do we have to go through this? Cut the crap.
In the interrogation room, the young man who gave his name as Achi Endo steadfastly insisted on his innocence.
Why you try to steal?
Why did try to?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Why'd you try to steal that case?
Kano watched Achi's face intently.
Like I said, it looked heavy. So I was just trying to help her out.
It wasn't inconceivable that a young guy would want to help a pretty girl. But Hitomi had just been standing there, hardly in desperate need of assistance.
She hadn't set the case down. So I figured there had to be something important inside.
An entry from Kano's dick diary shot through his mind.
Dick dictum number 25. When tongue slips, grab it and yank out the truth.
Classic advice for a questioning.
Who is this? Something important you say, such as?
How the heck would I know?
Achi spat. He huffed and slumped back in his chair. This standard textbook back and forth had been going on for nearly an hour. Kano didn't mind. Chasing down criminals was all well and good, but questioning suspects was another key part of the job. Plenty of off-the-scene work went into cracking the case. Once again, he had Achi explain what he'd been doing, starting from the beginning. When Kano finally emerged from the interrogation room for a short break, he learned that there had been some progress on the case at the crime scene. What the police hadn't been able to determine yet, however, was whether or not Maria was safe. Fighting back his anxiety, Kano consulted his dick diary.
Dick dictum number 54. Haste makes waste.
He felt his tension subside. Remembering the right maxim always helped. It was like casting a magic spell. Kano returned to confront Achi once more.
You were there to act as a distraction, to mess with the investigation, weren't you?
Huh?
Achi looked a bit dumbfounded.
What are you on about?
Dick dictum number 55. The truth hungers to be free. You hungry? Got some Kasudon if you like.
Achi nodded silently. Achi devoured the bowl of Katsudon with gusto. He looked like he hadn't eaten in a while.
Alright then, spill it. What's this guy after?
Achi just shrugged. He murmured, a thick slice of egg-laden pork between his teeth.
How many accomplices do you have?
Kano asked. But Achi just shook his head as he inhaled his food. Resignedly, Kano flipped through his notebook once more.
Let's see. Number 115. Use the lights to your advantage.
As the minutes ticked past, he found himself referring to his book again and again, trying a dozen different methods to tease out whatever his suspect might be hiding. The experience began to feel strangely surreal, their two voices echoing hollowly in the interrogation room. Eventually, Kano looked at the clock and realized that the questioning had been going on for nearly 5 hours. He still hadn't made any headway. What was he supposed to do next? Tateno would know, but he sure didn't. Still, he was determined to do whatever he could to keep the victim and her family safe. Gritting his teeth in frustration, he perused the dick diary like it was scripture.
Number 116.
The monotonous questioning was clearly tiring Achi out. His eyelids drooped like they were beginning to get heavy.
Number 117. Getting when they're tired.
Kano's eyes gleamed.
You're part of some criminal gang, huh?
Achi's head slumped forward heavily. Nodding off was basically the same as nodding yes, right?
Mr. Kuze! I did it! The young guy who grabbed the hands hide off sight? He finally confessed to the crime!
What? What are you talking about?
Usually laughed in disbelief.
We're just about to apprehend the mastermind. Here!
Wait, that was me.
Oh, damn it. Huh?
Kano clutched his cell phone, dumbstruck.
Listen, why don't you, Look, just wait there at HQ, okay?
No. It can't be. Z.
No. It can't be.
After the kidnapping case wrapped up, Kano tendered his resignation.
Guess I might cut out to be a detective after all.
He thought to himself. He dropped the dick diary on his desk as he left the Shibuya precinct for the last time. Kano wound up at a bad end. However, this does not mean that the choice you made for Kano was the wrong one. One of the other protagonists, Achi Endo, has an impact on Kano's fate here. You can avoid a bad end by making proper decisions in another character's story. For a detailed hint, check the tip by underlining the bad end title. Press square, then X. You want me to read this?
No, I'm good.
You can now select Achi Endo, one of the other protagonists. Let's follow Achi's story for a little while. Achi Endo called out at the door to his father's room.
Okay, I'm heading out.
Nolan.
Sure. His father sounded unconcerned. He didn't even open the door.
sure you don't want me to stay in here? Stay in the shop?
It's not like we're gonna get any customers.
Achi grimaced.
Yeah, guess not.
The drawer by the front door held a stack of heavy-duty trash bags. Achi pulled a few of them out.
Guess it's gonna be that kind of day.
He stuffed the trash bags into his pocket and slipped on his favorite pair of sneakers. The entryway to Achi's home also led into the family shop. Various pieces of electronics were piled up like so much junk in the tiny retail space. The slightest bump brought the risk of an avalanche. Achi wove his way through the gaps in the appliances like a spelunker exploring a cave. From Shibuya Station, if you make your way past the 109 building, then up through Dogenzaka, you'll come across an old shopping district. Nestled in its outskirts is Endo Electronics, in the same place it's been for decades. Within its dimly lit interior, you'll find rows of wares all caked in dust. At a glance, you might well assume the place was closed. A mom-and-pop place like Endo's couldn't compete with the big consumer chains booming through Shibuya. So far, the store had remained in business thanks to the locals who appreciated that they made house calls to do repairs. But things weren't looking good for the future. Achi, the eldest son and nominal successor to the business, had no interest whatsoever in working there. Achi stepped out of the shop and into the sunny morning air. The good weather lifted his spirits.
Alright, it's time to do this.
He unfurled one of the big garbage bags which caught the wind and fluttered like a cape. Then he slowly made his way toward Shibuya Station, scanning his surroundings all the while.
This is
He paused to pick up a plastic bottle that had been tossed on the ground. Then, with a heavy sigh, he slipped the crushed receptacle into his trash bag. He'd been picking up trash around town like this for about 6 months now. It had gotten so that the sort of garbage most people would hardly notice stood out to him like a sore thumb. Most days, he'd fill his trash bag to the top by the time he made it from his house in Dogenzaka to the train station. Today, he was halfway to the station when a woman's anxious voice caught his attention.
Lini, I think.
I'm sorry. I'm in a bit of a hurry here.
Oh, okay.
He looked up and saw a timid-looking woman being confronted by 2 men, one with brown hair, one with black. From the look of them, he guessed that the men were scouts for some hostess club. He ran into this sort of thing pretty frequently on his trash cleaning walks around town.
Never kind of tries to take care of.
Achi quickly interposed himself between the girl and the 2 recruiters.
Hey, didn't you say that you're bothering her?
Panda.
Huh? Who the hell are you?
The 2 men glared.
Take a hike, pal.
Achi stood his ground.
Look, she ain't interested. Just gonna have to find another. You're just gonna have to find some other mark.
The hustler's annoyance turned to open rage.
Well, listen to you. Got a bit of a mouth on ya. Got a bit of a mouth, huh, buddy?
The brown-haired thug smacked his lips around his chewing gum like a dog worrying about a bone.
How about we take this someplace more quiet? Yeah?
The girl stood by uneasily watching the goings-on.
Hey, take it easy. I'm not looking for trouble.
Is that supposed to be an apology? On your knees and beg, pal.
The man spat his gum onto the ground. Achi looked down at the glistening wad of gum on the sidewalk. His last shred of goodwill vanished.
You better pick that up right now. What? Didn't you hear me?
It's me. What? Didn't you hear me? Because I told you to get down your knees and back.
Achi's hand shot out, grabbing the man by the jaw.
Whoa, easy, pal.
The other man's bravado drained from his face. Achi tightened his grip on the brown-haired hustler's jaw. Sweat dripped from the man's reddening brow. The man struggled, but Achi just tightened his grip.
Gum's a real pain in the ass to clean up after it's gotten stuck to the street, you know? Ever stop to consider that?
Wait, are you?
The other hustler's panicked eyes had fixed on Achi's chest.
Oh crap! That shirt, man!
The guy's voice was starting to break.
That's mean clean!
I think it's the other guy. Nolan, go for it.
The guy with the mean clean shirt? Carrying around a trash bag? That means you're...
His face went pale.
Mean clean?
The other man echoed the words through his held-shut jaw, tears welling up in his eyes.
Get it right now.
Achi clenched the man's jaw harder still.
It's mean clean.
Ow! Ow! We're sorry, man! You're Achi, right? Dude, we honestly had no idea! Come on, man, you gotta cut us some slack!
The man scrambled to snatch the wad of gum off the street, stuffing it into his pants pocket. Finally, Achi let go of his companion. The brown-haired hustler's face was twisted up with fear. Tears streamed down his cheeks. Gasping out hasty apologies, the two thugs scampered off. A guy's smile came to the girl's face.
I think this is someone else. Do you still want me to do this?
Yeah, you started, so
Someone
might
else
as well just keep
Ryoko.
going.
Okay. Thank you for saving me.
No, I am on this.
The girl stared in surprise.
We'll run into peeps like that now and then. But Don't hold it against us. Shibuya's a good town.
Reduce the game a little bit, Justin.
Is this good?
Bit higher.
Going a bit higher.
Okay, that's better.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Achi gave her a quick wave and turned and continued on his way down Dogen's Island. Achi was Shibuya born and raised. He was keenly aware of all the changes the ward had seen since he was a kid. Grocery stalls and inconspicuous little side streets, tiny parks nestled between buildings. Achi knew it all like the back of his hand. Trash, human or otherwise, had no place in this town. Not on his watch. Achi made his way down towards Shibuya Station. Throngs of people shuffled to and fro across the scramble. The view shifted constantly from one moment to the next, almost as if the city itself were alive. And if the city was a living thing, then Shibuya Station was its heart. With streets like Bunka Moridori and Center Guys serving as the arteries pumping a bloodstream made of people. Today, as ever, the heart was pumping that blood to every nook and cranny of Shibuya. And there was Achi, just another part of this great urban organism.
Guess I'm one of the city's white blood cells. Or wait, maybe I'm a red blood cell? Hold on. Is that right? Or did I have that right the first time?
White blood cells eliminate pathogens from the bloodstream. Red blood cells carry oxygen throughout the body. Achi was probably thinking of white blood cells. Emerging from his reverie, he noticed a rather conspicuous young woman standing by the statue of Hachiko outside Shibuya Station.
Oh, she's totally my type. I wonder if she's a model or a small-time actress or something. Looks like she's waiting for someone. Probably another guy. Damn.
Good looking as she was, there was no way she wasn't already taken. What kind of guy scored a girl like that? Probably the rich-ass CEO of an IT company or something. Crouching down to tie off the trash bag, he continued gazing wistfully at the girl. Then he noticed something peculiar. She was carrying an attaché case, the kind a businessman might use. It was a large case, and apparently so heavy that she was struggling to hold it, despite using both hands. He reached a decision point. Let's have Achi not approach Hitomi. Use the D-pad to select an option, then press X.
But first, I gotta dump this trash.
He looked around to see if there was a garbage bin nearby. Now, Achi won't approach Hitomi, which means he will avoid being arrested by Kano. At the same time, Kano's fate will also change, and he will no longer wind up at a bad end. So let's switch back to Kano's story using the time chart. Press triangle to open it. There's the time chart. It shows the protagonist's progression through the story. Decision points are marked with split arrows. Kano's fate has changed based on Achi's actions. Click Kano's 1030 block, then press X.
I suppose you could call it that.
Kano gave a wry chuckle at his partner's lack of shame.
I guess we can skip through that thing. Wait, this is different.
The man in black coat! He's not Japanese! Looks to be in his early 30s!
Previously, Achi got mixed up with Kano in the police, but now another man has appeared instead. By changing what Achi did, you've also changed Kano's story. A foreign man had emerged from the crowd about 15 feet from where Hitomi was standing. He made his way toward her, his expression blank. He didn't match the description Hitomi had given them, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper was using an accomplice to snatch the ransom payment.
Alright,
Takayama raised an eyebrow.
this might be our guy.
This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. He bent his knees, ready for action. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that had begun to take hold. Was this the culprit? Or perhaps... The stranger took hold of the attaché case. It was him. Unmasked, the detectives began to close in.
Let's go, Kano!
On it!
Asayama and Kano leapt into action, but they never expected what happened next. With the case clutched in both arms, the man veered suddenly, running right toward them. Kano's story has suddenly hit a keep out. It refers to a point in the story where your progress is currently stopped. In order to advance beyond a keep out, you need to jump from another protagonist's story. At 10:30, Achi has the text. Young man in a suit, set as red keywords. Checking these. Red keywords will allow you to jump from Achi's story back to Kano's. Now, head back to Achi's story and keep an eye out for that key phrase. Try following the story from Achi at 10:30. Approach the girl. He was dressed in black and he wasn't Japanese. It looked like they were having a conversation. The girl nodded tensely at something the man said. Achi stared.
Something tells me that's not her boyfriend.
The girl handed the attaché case over to the man. He took hold of it with his right hand and began walking briskly away.
Whoa!
A nearby homeless man suddenly leapt over Achi and broke into a run, as if he'd been waiting for this very moment. Sprinting alongside him was a young man in a suit. Some words in the text appear red. Red text denotes important keywords that let you jump between different protagonists' stories. This allows you to shift between characters at specific points. These can also allow you to clear out a keep out in another character's story and let you read on. If you come across red text, press square to underline it, then press X. A window will appear allowing you to jump from one protagonist to another at that point. Then press X to continue the other character's story after the keep out. Give it a try. By performing a jump from this screen, you can advance another protagonist's story past a keep out. Press X to confirm and jump over to Kyra's story.
Let's go, Kano.
On it.
You did it! Jump successful. In 428, you will often need to jump to get past another character's keep out. Jump from red keywords to clear a keep out. Keep this in mind as you advance through the story. Okay, there won't be any more tutorial messages for a while. If you get stuck somewhere, try changing protagonists or making different decisions to advance. You can now use the time chart in the main menu. From the main menu, you can access gameplay explanations and adjust settings. Press triangle to open the time chart and options to open the main menu. But they never expected what happened next. With the case clutched in both arms, the man suddenly veered, running right toward them.
What?
Catching sight of the two detectives, the suspect staggered to a halt, then bolted off in a new direction. Kano whipped off his costume glasses and followed in hot pursuit. At the crosswalk, the signal changed to red and the flow of foot traffic abruptly halted. Just as quickly, hundreds of cars all lurched back into motion. There was no escape for the culprit now. Or so it appeared. The converging cops slowed their pace, confident their man was cornered. The foreigner barreled straight into the intersection, dodging between the oncoming cars without any hesitation. The mob of detectives came to a halt, not eager to rush to their deaths along with him. Kano, however, remained in hot pursuit, charging into the traffic at the crossing.
Kano, you crazy? Come back!
Kano heard Sasayama shot, but his feet kept carrying him on. With shouts and sirens echoing all around him, Kano closed in on the foreigner. Just a little closer. Just a little closer, and he'd be in tackling range. He leaned forward, preparing to pounce, his eyes fixed on the culprit's feet. It was now or never.
Kano, back off! Oh, wait, sorry.
I'm not sure.
I think it's Kuze.
Kano, back off! Don't take him down!
It was Kuze, shouting through Kano's earpiece.
Huh?
Kano hesitated in surprise. Had he really just been ordered not to apprehend the criminal?
Let him go for now. The real purpose somewhere else. Let someplace else.
What had happened with the plan? He'd been told that all personnel would secure the area ASAP. Didn't HQ want them to catch the perpetrator?
Arrest team, stay on the foreigner's trail. Forensics team, get busy cross-referencing photos.
Even if this foreigner was only an underling hired for this one task, the police had now tipped their hand they'd been lying in wait. If they didn't lock things down now and get more info on the kidnapper, a girl's life might be at stake. Kano recalled another maxim from his dick diary.
Dictum number 12. Always assume a worst case scenario.
If Kuze had told him to let this guy go, that implied he was counting on the team that was now in position. But if the crook had planned a way to break through the police dragnet and escape with the ransom, and he succeeded? What was the right call here? Should he take this guy down or back off after all? Kuze's instruction had been clear. Let the other officers chase after the guy. Kano had his own job to do. He broke off his pursuit, pointing the next wave of detectives in the direction the foreigner had fled. Kano had almost gotten close enough to get a good look at the guy's face. But if Kuze had ordered him to let the guy go, well, his boss should know what he was doing. The perp was someone else's problem now. He had just ceased his pursuit when Kuze's panicked voice sounded shrill in his ear.
Imp! Someone's taking a Hitomi!
Kano recognized Kuze's trademark squawking immediately.
Subject is male! He appears to be carrying a gun! He's fleeing in the direction of Major Dory!
What?
Kano could hardly believe it. Hitomi had been kidnapped? Had she been abducted by whoever had taken Maria? But why? Someone must have been waiting for the moment when the police took their eyes off her. Something's... Oh, that might be him.
Something's very wrong here. What in the world's going on?
Kano hurried to search for the man who'd taken Hitomi. If he was heading toward Meiji-dori, there was a good chance he'd gone down one of the alleyways nearby. After darting through the side streets, he spotted a different man, another foreigner, crossing an intersection a few dozen meters ahead. The man was dressed in black, just like the guy who'd grabbed the ransom money.
Kuze's right. The kidnapper wasn't acting alone.
But wait, something missed.
Hitomi isn't with him.
Where was she? Kano skidded around the corner and stopped short. The man in black was standing there, pointing a gun right at him. Before Kano could react, the man fired. Kano felt hot all over, as if he were on fire. All except for his cheek, pressed against the asphalt in the palms of his hands. They felt so cold. There was nothing he could do. Nothing, that is, except lie there and watch as his killer turned and walked away. Letting the perp escape now is too big of a risk. He had to catch this guy ASAP. The man darted down a narrow alleyway. Kano ran faster. The man sprinted through the side streets. Evidently, he knew his way around Shibuya pretty well.
Eep! Someone's taking a Hitomi!
Kano recognized Kuze's trademark squawk immediately.
Epic smell! You appears to be carrying a gun! He's fleeing in the direction of Major Tori!
What?
Kana could hardly believe it. Hitomi had been kidnapped? Had she been abducted by whoever had taken Maria? But why? Someone must have been waiting for the moment when the police took their eyes off her.
Something's very wrong. Let's get to all this.
Kana saw that the road forked up ahead. The man with the attaché case ran to the left. If the man who'd taken Hitomi was heading toward Meiji-dori, there was a good chance he'd gone down one of the alleyways off to the right. Making a snap judgment, Kano told the detective behind him to follow the case snatcher. Then turned and headed down the nearest alley. After darting through the side streets, he spotted a different man, another foreigner, crossing an intersection a few dozen meters ahead.
Whoa!
A nearby homeless man suddenly leapt over Achi and broke into a run as if he'd been waiting for this very moment. Sprinting alongside him was a young man in a suit. Then, seemingly from everywhere, a whole bunch of other guys burst into motion. First one. Then another. A third, a fourth, a fifth. Over a dozen now.
What the heck?
Clearly something big was going down. Were they after the attaché case? Within moments, Achi lost sight of them all through the crowd. With that many people chasing him, the guy with the case was sure to get caught. But wait. What about that girl? Achi turned back around, and the girl was still there. She was staring in the direction that the man who'd taken the case had gone, a worried expression on her face.
Make a choice.
Achi couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. Maybe he should talk to her and ask what was going on. But just as he was making up his mind, a middle-aged man in a ratty business suit shuffled awkwardly over to her first. Was there something wrong with one of his legs? He was using a cane to walk. Then one of his hands slipped into his jacket pocket. Achi could scarcely believe his eyes.
A revolver?
With a single fluid motion, the man lifted up the gun and pointed it in the girl's direction. He was aiming right for her head.
Huh?
The girl had noticed the man with the cane now. Seeing the gun pointed right at her, she froze in fear. Achi didn't hesitate. Breaking into a full run, he tackled the gunman with all his might. Caught off guard, the man sprawled to the pavement. But the would-be assassin kept hold of his weapon and quickly scrabbled back to his feet. Achi knew he had to act fast. The grabbed the ashen-faced girl by the arm and attempted to drag her away.
This way!
He shouted. She just stared at him, uncomprehending, trembling like a startled animal.
Come on, run!
Finally, the girl snapped out of her daze and gave a fearful nod.
Let's just get out of here!
The would-be assassin was getting back to his feet. Achi grabbed the girl by the hand.
Run!
Not so much as a backward glance, he led her beneath the railway overpass. They needed to get as far away as possible, fast. Their best bet was to head toward the east side of the station. Less crowded there, easier to walk.
Trust me.
Dragging the hesitant girl behind him, he took off to the crowd. Suddenly it dawned on him he still held the trash bag in his other hand.
You know, this thing's gonna be a real pain in the ass.
Achi paused just long enough to toss the trash into the garbage bin as they passed by a park, then took off again. Someone shouted from behind.
Emilio.
Stop right there!
Achi looked back in alarm to see a stranger charging after them. It was one of the guys from the crowd who had run after the attaché case snatcher.
You gotta be kidding me. Now he's chasing us?
Whoever he was young and fit and gaining fast. Realizing the girl could never outrun this guy, Achi stopped abruptly. Shielding her behind him, he turned to face the stranger.
Why'd you run off?
Because you was chasing us.
The other fellow eyed Achi skeptically. Maybe he was a buddy of the man with the cane? Keeping his guard up, Achi began to back away.
Look, just let the girl go.
The guy was acting like he knew her. Achi glanced back, but the girl only shook her head, wide-eyed. The other man's posture shifted, preparing to lunge. But as Achi braced himself for a scuffle, something came crashing down upon the stranger's head.
Gah!
His eyes wobbled and spun in their sockets, and he collapsed in a heap on the ground. And there, standing behind him, was the girl he'd helped out earlier, the one he'd saved from the hustlers.
Hey, you're that girl from this morning.
Jules, you voice her.
Are you okay?
Next to the fallen pursuer's form was a rather thick book. She nodded toward it.
He looked dangerous, so I just threw that at him.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. This saves my bacon big time.
It's the least I could do after the way you helped me earlier.
Sure thing. You should probably get out of here before that guy comes to. Like you said, he's probably dangerous.
Right.
Achi scooped up the heavy book and handed it to the girl, who promptly left the scene.
Now, we better get out of here.
The girl nodded. They started down the street, only to see the man with the cane round the corner a few dozen meters ahead.
This is not good.
The assassin had spotted them, and he hurried in their direction.
This way.
Achi led the girl into a nearby alleyway.
But this way's a dead end.
The girl said breathlessly.
Like I said, just trust me.
Stopping abruptly, Achi kicked down a wooden plank covering a gap between two buildings, clearing a space that a person could fit through.
See? We can get away through here. In you go.
The girl just stood there, looking terrified.
What's the matter?
Achi asked.
Come on, we gotta hurry.
But I...
She looked at him as if he, too, was about to pull a gun on her. He could hardly blame her. After all, he was just some random guy who had turned up out of nowhere. But this was no time for dawdling. The man with the cane appeared at the end of the alley. If they just stood there, he was going to catch them.
Okay, sweetheart. Hear me out.
He said in a rush.
The name's Achi Endo. I live in the neighborhood, and I'm not the kind to stand idly by when a girl is being chased by some killer. So please just trust me, and I'll do my best to keep you safe.
He hoped the look in his eyes could convince her he was being on the level. After a painfully long moment, the girl nodded her acceptance.
Right. Let's start with this.
They had paused beside an enormous stack of beverage crates, and with a quick shove, Achi knocked the whole pile down, sending it cascading across their pursuer's path.
Now that was a close call.
The man with the cane was floundering, struggling to get past the fallen crates.
My bad, man.
Achi called out.
Mind cleaning that up for me?
The man scowled back at them and fumbled for his gun. Achi flashed him a wave goodbye, then slipped away between the buildings with the girl. Hurrying down a narrow alley, they emerged onto a side street lined with dive bars and clubs. Assuming the man with the cane hadn't given up, he would probably lie in wait on the path back to the main road. Achi decided their best bet was to try and stay inconspicuous rather than risk getting caught on the move.
Guess we can lie low here for a bit.
He said. He led the girl to the entrance of a tiny old hostess club. She followed him, reluctantly. Achi flicked the switch inside the front door and a chintzy chandelier. A chintzy chandelier glowed to life. He sat the girl down on the small sofa beside the counter. She gave him a worried look. Achi felt a pang of embarrassment as he realized what she must be thinking.
Oh, no. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm not trying to do any friendly business. Someone I know used to run this place. It's not in business anymore, so I figured we're safe here.
The girl chuckled at his evident discomfort.
All right then.
She said.
So, we good?
We're good.
Okay. Well, good.
Achi made a vague attempt to straighten his disheveled clothes.
So, how about some introductions? I'm Achi Endo, like I said earlier. You can just call me Achi.
I'm Hitomi Asoa. You can call me Hitomi, I guess.
With each new word out of Hitomi's mouth, Achi felt his heart sing. She was charming, personable, just about everything about her was captivating. Achi had never met another girl like her.
Achi?
But
Is something the matter? You were spacing out there for a bit.
Achi shook his head to dispel his daze.
damn it, this is not the time to get all starry-eyed.
He needed to think of some way to keep her safe from the guy who was after her.
Look, can you tell me what the heck is going on? Please, I need to know if I'm going to help you.
Right. Okay. I'm not really sure where to begin.
Hitomi looked down, lost in thought. Apparently hers was a long story,
All right.
he said at last.
I guess I'll just explain things as they happened.
Wait, hold up. Could you keep it as simple as you can? I mean, I'm not really the sharpest tool in the shed. Complicated explanations ain't exactly my strong suit.
Okay. Try my
Hitomi
best.
chuckled. She got comfortable and then started her story.
So, last night, somebody abducted my sister. The kidnapper demanded that I make the ransom handoff personally. He told me to stand by the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya at 10 o'clock in the morning to make the exchange.
Sorry.
Whoa, I'm sorry. Hold up a sec.
Achi had suddenly lost the thread of the conversation.
Oh, so it was intentional.
Press up to go back and reread sections you've already played through. To scroll ahead through text you've already read. Press down when rewinding advancing like this. A book will sometimes appear in the upper left corner. Press X while this is being displayed to reread the current page.
So I did, and this man came by and took the attaché case with the money, and then afterwards that other guy with the cane turned up and pointed his gun at me and...
Could you say that again, but like simpler?
Huh? Sure.
I'm just having trouble following is all. I mean, is this the plot of some movie or soap opera?
No, that's not.
Or some kind of hidden camera show?
This is real. This really happened.
The look in Hitomi's eyes was dead serious.
She's got to be telling the truth. What would be the point of lying?
And he had seen the attaché and the gunman himself.
How much was the ransom, if you don't mind me asking?
Hitomi hesitated.
50 million yen.
She said after a moment. Achi gave a whistle of amazement.
Phew. The detectives told me that was a typical amount for a kidnapper to ask for.
Man, it's plenty, that's for sure. I guess there's good money in that sort of thing.
As soon as the words were out, he realized his blunder.
Sorry, I shouldn't have put it that way.
He fidgeted awkwardly and Hitomi looked away.
I'm an idiot. But, okay. I think I get this kidnapping thing. So, I'm guessing those guys who chased the guy who took the ransom were undercover cops?
He replayed the scene in his head.
But then, the kidnapper took the attaché case and ran, right? So if you were empty-handed, why'd that guy with the cane come after you?
I'm honestly not sure.
Hitomi's words trailed off. This was clearly difficult for her to talk about.
Anyway, we should probably get you to the police as soon as we...
No, we can't do that.
Hitomi's tone was resolute.
I can't take this to the police.
Why not?
Achi waited for an answer, but none came. After a long and awkward silence, she stood up from her seat.
I really appreciate the help, but I should go now.
She gave Achi a deep bow.
Nah, hold on. What do you mean, go? Go where?
He hurried to intervene as she headed for the door.
I don't want to cause you any more trouble. I'll figure the rest out on my own somehow.
Hey, I said hold on.
Hitomi ignored him and opened the door, and their argument came to an abrupt halt. Standing there was the man with the cane, his revolver in his hand. Endo's 10 o'clock story ends here. However, Kano's story is still stuck. at a bad end. This is due to one of Achi's decisions. Go back to Achi's decision point at 10:35 and change the choice he makes in order to change Kano's fate. This way Achi's choice can help someone else while his own story remains resolved. The key to getting all the characters through to the end is to go back and change choices for characters that have already made it through the current hour of their story. Another crazy day in Shibuya. They had to be shooting a scene for a film on location. It would probably be a mistake to intrude.
Yeah, I bet that's what that is. Some TV show about a kidnapping, and the girl has to make some random ransom handoff. And there's probably some actor lurking around here playing a suave, handsome detective.
Achi gave a chuckle and turned away. A soothing breeze blew by as wispy clouds drifted overhead.
They picked a nice day to shoot.
Smiling inwardly, he resumed his trash-picking mission, wondering what other surprises the day would hold. A few moments later, he heard a loud bang. The scramble went into an uproar.
Huh. Someone blow a tire?
People were running from all directions to see what had made that sound.
Oh, maybe they're shooting an action scene now.
Achi was a tad bit curious, but he strolled away from the scramble without looking back. Maybe he'd head out to Yotsuya today and stretch his legs a bit. It was best not to get distracted. There was trash that needed collecting.
The police box. Let's go.
Still, pulling the girl by the hand, Achi headed for the police box outside the train station. But it was empty. There were always policemen staffing these things. Why did it have to be unmanned now? Achi flashed a worried glance behind him and saw the assassin in pursuit like a man possessed.
Yikes, this is not good.
There was nothing they could do but run. The frightened girl would tell Achi ran beneath the JR yellow to the railroad pass.
Don't worry, just trust me. But first,
They sped past the convenience store where an employee was cleaning up the sidewalk.
here, take this, will ya?
Achi tossed over the bag of trash.
Nolan,
Huh? Wait, what?
This way.
Slipped through the crowd and into a nearby back alley.
But this way's a dead end.
The girl said breathlessly.
Like I said, just trust me.
let's go to these parts.
roughly 197. Age, 30s. Hair, dark brown. Clothing, all black. A moment later, the man flashed a triumphant sneer and held up the attaché case. Before Kano could even yell stop, it was already too late. The man threw the attaché case down to the roadway below.
No!
Panicking, Kano peered over the railing. A man on a motorcycle was waiting beneath the bridge.
I've been had.
Kano bit his lip hard.
Damn it!
Kano sprinted back down the bridge. Hearing the bike's engines roar to life, he had to make it in time. Descending the stairs 4 at a time, he leapt toward the roadway, but the bike sped out of reach and roared away in the direction of Yoyogi, leaving Kano in its dust. Looking back up at the overpass, he saw the man who'd thrown the attaché case running away.
He handed the money off to someone else. He's currently on a motorcycle heading towards Yoyogi.
His report to Kuze complete, Kano slumped down in dismay. The cops had played right into the criminal's hands. Now the crooks were getting away, and people's lives were in danger. Was there any greater failure for a policeman? Staring off into the distance where the man who'd thrown the case had disappeared, Kano gritted his teeth. Yeah.
Let's go pet the guy in the future.
Works for me.
I'll take a peek.
So hot in this thing. Way too hot. I feel like I'm sitting in a sauna. Everyone else on the street looks so nice and cool. But here I am getting treated to my very own personal midsummer heat wave. On top of that, I can barely see. I can barely breathe for that matter. But hey, what can I do? Oh, I am so thirsty. Some iced tea would be amazing right now. I'm going to pass out from dehydration at this rate. I may as well admit it. I underestimated how tough this would be. Who knew wearing a mascot costume could be so uncomfortable? A delicate young lady like myself has no business doing this sort of job. I suddenly have so much respect for the people on those superhero team shows. Like, can you imagine doing live-action scenes in something like this? Heck, all I'm doing is standing here and I'm this close to calling it quits. But I can't. I need the work. I need the money. This is no time to be a wuss. If I give up on this, what else am I possibly going to do? Check out the revolutionary new diet drink, Burning Hammer! I thrust a free sample toward passerby while shouting as loud as I can. Just in case you didn't know what a free portion is. Come on, give it a try! Oh, it's no use. People just walk by one after the other. They avoid looking at the sample. It's been like this ever since I started standing here. What gives? You'd figure at least one person would have taken a bottle by now. I mean, it's free, but I haven't managed to give away a single one. If this keeps up, there's no way I'm getting paid. And then this whole miserable experience will have all been for nothing. Just drink this and watch the pounds melt away! No exercising or dieting necessary. I can hear the desperation in my own voice. Just burn, 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 burn those pounds away! They're giving me cold looks now. They probably think I'm some shyster trying to offload dodgy product. It's that simple! That simple, folks! You just drink the weight away, I guarantee it! Heck, this whole thing reeks of a scam to me, too. Losing weight just by drinking some concoction is way too good to be true. But still, free is free. You'd think I'd be able to give one or two away. It's not like I'm not trying. Okay, pep talk time. You can do this. Think about the money. Just start with one bottle. Alright, I am going to give this bottle away to the next person I see, no matter what. I close my eyes and gather my determination. I just need to get started, and the momentum will build from there. Alright, eyes open. There are two people walking in my direction. Wait, two? Oh no, which one do I pick? If I keep waffling, they're both going to pass me by. I just need to hand this bottle off. Which one of these guys looks more likely to take it?
It's ticking.
Oh, I choose? Okay. I try to force it off from the disheveled fellow to my right. Clutching the free sample in my furry fist, I try to force it off on the disheveled fellow to my right. To my surprise, he takes it.
Huh? What's this?
He asks, lifting an eyebrow as he looks at the bottle. I flap my fuzzy arms and strike a cute pose as I launch into the product pitch. It's Burning Hammer, the #1 new diet drink. Please give it a try. Please.
No thanks.
The man says.
I'm good.
I keep my arms held open wide and pretend I didn't hear that.
Look, I'm in a hurry. You should give this to someone else.
He tries to hand the sample back to me, but I hold my ground. For a few moments, we are at a silent impasse. Maybe he's weirded out by my cat alter ego holding its freeze frame pose, because eventually he looks away, slips the bottle into his pocket, and walks off. I did it. I finally got someone to take one. But there's still so many samples left. My brief surge of excitement dies before it can even fully take hold. I wonder how the other mascot is doing about now.
Kyra.
There's a sales demo happening today at 1 o'clock in the Nokane building.
Huh. Looks like the chicken has handed out all kinds of samples. I don't get it. How come nobody is taking any of mine? What could I possibly be doing wrong? I look at the clock. It's a little after 11. My morning of wandering around hawking diet drinks is just about over. I'll need to get ready to head over to the sales demo. I'd love to take the costume off, but then I'd have to carry it. The samples I haven't given out are almost as too heavy as it is. Oh well. I might not have gotten results, but I tried my best. I sure hope they don't withhold my pay or anything.
Kyra.
Hey, what gives? You got that many left?
Chicken speaks with a female voice. Yeah, I reply sheepishly. Nobody seems to want to take mine.
Well, I mean, are you looking for the right targets?
Huh?
Like groups of girls or bored-looking older ladies. Those are the types you gotta be gunning for, you know.
Wow, I hadn't even considered that. Now that she says it, it seems so obvious. This is a diet drink, after all. Of course I'm not going to have any luck trying to foist it off on random guys.
Well, whatever,
the chicken says.
Here, give me the samples you've got left.
I hand over my samples, and the chicken dumps the whole lot into a basket.
I'll drink whatever's left so they don't find out you didn't pass them out,
she says. Huh? Wait, like all of them?
Yeah, all of them.
The chicken sounds pretty confident in herself. These may just be sample-sized bottles, but still, they add up to a lot. I can feel myself on the brink of tears at the kindness of her offer. Thank you so much. That's a huge help. I bow deeply, which makes my mascot head wobble. Leaving the station behind, we head down Center Guy towards the Nokane building. The Burning Hammer sales demo is going to be held there this afternoon. The job's supposed to pay 10,000 yen for the day, but if we can sell at least 100 bottles at the demo, they've promised another 10,000 on top of that. I need to make sure I sell those 100 bottles. I need that 20,000 yen, and I need it ASAP. We arrive at the Nokane building, a run-down, multi-tenant office complex. We head into the room where the Burning Hammer sales demo is taking place. There are already about 50 seats set out. I wonder how many people the free samples will pull in. A stage has been set up at the far end of the room. That's where I'm going to be standing, sipping Burning Hammer while explaining its effects to the customers.
Kyra.
Is this me?
Yeah, I think so.
Hurry up and take that thing off.
The chicken flaps her wings as she speaks.
It's kinda early, but come on, let's have lunch. I'm starving.
Now that she mentions it, I realize I'm pretty hungry myself. The demo's not starting for another 2 hours. I can't win a war against my stomach for that long. The chicken and I head over to the waiting room where they've set out our lunches for us.
Mind getting my back real quick?
The chicken asks. She arches her back toward me. Apparently, she can't reach her own zipper. Oh, sure, just give me a sec. Give me just a sec. I try to unzip the back of the chicken suit, but my own suit's thick, fuzzy fingers have a hard time of it.
What's the holdup? Come on, I'm roasting in this thing. Hurry up and get her off me.
I've almost got it. It's just awkward with these mitts. Finally, I get a hold of the zipper and yank it. Downward. A girl emerges from the chicken as if the chicken itself were an egg.
I'm alive!
Her red sweatshirt is drenched in sweat. Almost at once, she's kicking back and cooling off with a hand fan. Sorry, but would you mind getting me too? I ask.
Yeah, okay.
I turn my back to the girl. I hear a metal clacking behind me. At long last, I'm about to be free of this 5-ton fursuit.
Huh?
The girl murmurs awkwardly.
Huh? What?
A spike of anxiety hits me. What's wrong? I ask.
Yeah, that's a no-go. Zipper's busted.
What?
Yeah, sorry, this thing is coming off.
What? My vision goes dark. No. I tug desperately at the costume, but no luck. I'm trapped inside. Oh, what the crap!
Oh, well, we can talk to the boss about it when he gets back.
The girl says.
I mean, it's not like we could just cut it off here with scissors or anything.
She sounds entirely unconcerned. It's so unfair! I need to get out of this stuffy, sweltering steam bath as soon as possible. All I can do is clench my fist in an impotent rage.
But anyway, good work out there today.
The girl continues.
I'm Chiriko Osugi, by the way. You can call me Chiri.
She smiles as she introduces herself.
I mean, I am a pretty cheery gal, after all.
She breaks into a hearty guffaw. Oh, sure, I say. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, for sure. Though, I guess you're not gonna be able to eat lunch in that getup, huh?
Huh? Ah, that's right. What should I do?
Don't sweat it. Just leave it to me.
Huh?
I'll eat both lunches myself.
Chiri doesn't even wait for me to reply before reaching for my lunch.
It'd be a shame to let it go to waste.
She says. She makes it sound like leftover food is a bigger concern than my hunger. I can feel my appetite stirring all the more as she devours my meal with a satisfied grin on her face. A faint, pathetic gurgle rises from my belly. It's just a cheap little prepackaged box. It's just a cheap little prepackaged box lunch, but right now it looks like a feast.
So what's your name?
Shiri asks. Her cheeks are still packed with rice. My name?
Yeah.
Oh, As I struggle to think of an answer, my eyes alight on the piece of tamagoyaki clutched between Chiri's chopsticks. The yellow slab of lightly grilled egg wobbles to and fro. I can see the inside from the way it's been sliced. It looks somewhat undercooked.
Come on, what's your name?
Oh, right. Tama. It's Tama.
Huh? You mean like the famous cat? Well, ain't that fitting.
Chiri chortles and stuffs the piece of tamagoyaki in her mouth and takes a big swig of iced tea. I am beyond jealous. I wish I could gorge myself on those lunchboxes until I'm full to bursting. Heck, even a cold glass of iced tea would be a lifesaver right now. I'm so thirsty, I'm starting to get all dizzy. Maybe I really am getting dehydrated. This isn't good. If I don't do something, I'm going to pass out before the sales demo even starts. And then I remember something. The zipper down my back might be busted, but I can still take the head off, right? That way I'd at least be able to eat and drink stuff. Alright. I decide to ask Chiri to assist me. I decide to ask Chiri. Sorry, do you mind helping me pull my... Ow! I feel a dull, throbbing pain at the back of my head. Like I bumped my head somewhere. But I don't remember doing that recently. Chiri flashes me a curious look.
What are you doing?
She asks. I thought maybe I could at least get the head off.
That ain't gonna work. That thing's attached to the body.
I slump forward in defeat, face planting on the tabletop.